The hammer came down fast. Bone splintered, flesh tore. My scream barely left my throat before his laugh drowned it out. "Useless girls don't need fingers," my father sneered. Mom spat, voice like venom. "Trash gets scraps." My sister chewed steak in silence. Blood ran down my palm. I swallowed rage with the taste of iron. That night, as they feasted, I learned what hunger really was. And I swore they'd choke on what I'd become. I used to beg for love. When I was small, I believed I was the problem. That if I smiled more, worked harder, stayed quiet, they'd notice me. I thought scraps meant discipline, that pain meant shaping. But the truth was simpler. I was never the daughter they wanted, never the prize. My sister was the jewel, perfect, obedient, worth feeding. I was the mistake they didn't hide, but punished for existing. Every meal was a hierarchy. Her plate stacked, mine stripped bare. Every question, every plea met with laughter, spit, or fists. And the night he shattered my finger, I understood. They didn't just want me small. They wanted me broken. I stopped asking, stopped pleading. I watched. Patterns revealed themselves. The locked drawer my father kept cash in. The liquor bottles he drained nightly. The way Mom whispered about his business on the phone, her tone sharp with fear. The steak they fed my sister was bought with money that wasn't theirs. Loans in other people's names. Fraud buried in paperwork. Gambling debts hidden from neighbors who thought we were upright. They called me trash. But the real garbage was piling up under their roof. I played my part well. Eyes down, voice quiet. The broken daughter they ignored. But silence is sharper than any blade, and I learned to cut with it. While they laughed, I copied. While they slept, I searched. While they beat me down, I built myself up. Document by document, file by file. I learned where they hid money, which names they forged, which lies they told. And slowly I pulled the strings together until their entire rotten house of cards sat in my hands. The plan wasn't fire, it wasn't screaming, it was paper. I delivered copies of their forged checks, their hidden debts, their stolen accounts to the right places. Banks, collectors, law. And I waited. I let them eat, let them laugh, let them believe I was still starving, still weak, still nothing. Until the letters came. Until the calls started. Until the walls they built around themselves cracked. The night it all collapsed, I sat at the table across from them. My father's plate was bare, no money left for steak. My mother's hands shook as she read the notice in the mail. Accounts frozen, debts called in, charges filed. My sister sobbed, mascara streaking down her cheeks, her college fund gone, her pedestal kicked out from under her. Dad's face was red with fury. "Who did this?" Mom hissed, "This is your fault." I lifted my broken hand, scarred jagged where the bone had once jutted. My voice was calm. "You fed me scraps. Tonight, I fed you truth." Their laughter died in their throats, and for the first time in my life, they were the ones starving. The fallout was slow but brutal. The creditors came first, then the police. Neighbors whispered, friends vanished, reputations crumbled. Dad's business was stripped bare, every dirty secret dragged into daylight. Mom's venom turned inward, her tongue silenced by shame she couldn't spit out. My sister, robbed of her crown, looked at me with wide, empty eyes, as if I'd become a stranger. And I had. I wasn't the quiet, broken girl anymore. I was the storm they created. Sometimes I think about the hammer, the sound of it crushing bone, the way they laughed while I cried. But now, the sound that follows me is different. Silence. The silence of their empty table, their empty fridge, their empty house. They tried to make me less than human, but in the end, I became the only one who could truly live. When I set my fork down at my own table now, alone, free, unafraid, I taste something richer than steak. Victory. They called me trash, but trash burns hotter than they ever imagined, and I fed them a revenge they couldn't swallow.